guys, how's it going? It's Al. It is week 6. It's week 5 of NFL, but it's week 6 of college football. And we've got Chris K from Unabated Sports to go over some Underdog Pick'em plays through the Unabated Sports platform. Running good projections through their system is going to help you be a better bettor, specifically with props, whether you're playing on Underdog Fantasy, and you can use my code ALSMIZZLE to get up to a $500 deposit bonus on your first deposit to the site, or on Prize Picks, or if you're in a sports betting state, to be able to shop for the best lines at whatever sports books are available for you for online betting in your state. So definitely go over to Unabated Sports and check out the great products that they have. You can use the link smizzle.tv/bet if you wanted to go over there and get a discounted membership to their site. So thank you guys for being here on the Al Smizzle Fantasy Football channel. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the notifications bell, and let's go.
He's a legend.
Welcome to week 6 of the college football season. Prop lines are out on Underdog, and shockingly, they've included the Oklahoma-Texas game. And I know it's the biggest game of the weekend, but there's some major question marks. Biggest one being Ja'Tavion Sanders, the tight end for the Longhorns. Ankle injury that kept him from finishing the game last week against Kansas, considered day-to-day, and his health status will greatly impact Xavier Worthy, Jordan Whittington, and A.D. Mitchell for the Longhorns. So looking specifically here at Worthy, this 5.5 catch total, this 76.5 receiving yard total, these are fairly typical of Worthy. So if Sanders plays, these are pretty much set in stone. I don't see these moving. If he gets considered out, Sanders does not play, then this number is going to rise. And it becomes a little bit of a riskier situation if you are to bet something early in the week. Ultimately, I do like this line. Worthy's had a good season, but A.D. Mitchell is really a really solid player. Whittington is good enough in the offense. And like I said, Sanders, he's a good option as a tight end, 5 targets per game on the year if you were to play. So I do like these props, but there is some concern. Will Sanders play? If you feel like you have a good pulse on the situation, you certainly could make your decision one way or the other. One other thing to think about here is these projections are based off of Vegas, and Vegas currently has Texas scoring somewhere around, let's say, 32 to 34 points. Oklahoma's in that kind of 26, 27 point range. If you think this is going to be a high scoring game, then these numbers are certainly going to be lower than what they will be, right? So if you think that Vegas total and that Vegas line is pretty on par, then these are all good options for me. So looking at Texas, I probably would prefer the receptions, just like the Unabated Pick'em tool here says that this 28% edge. Receiving yards isn't that bad of a play, but that one feels a little bit tighter for sure. Now, looking at Quinn Ewers, this 293-yard mark, that's a pretty big number. He certainly is a very good quarterback, but with the Vegas total the way it is, and Jonathan Brooks and that running game getting better and better each week, I really like this play as well. So let's kind of get something started here with those two. Some nice correlation, quarterback to receiver unders there. Across the other way, right? Jaleel Farouk. I think going into the season, people considered him to be that receiver one, but what we've noticed is Andrew Anthony has really become a nice target. Drake Stoops, I don't know how he's still in college, but he's been all over the place, still producing. And then Nick Anderson stepped up more recently. So a bunch of different options there at receiver. Again, I think I like the receptions more than yards down here at 57.5. All it takes is one big play. So I, maybe add that in here and give me a Red River rivalry parlay. Stoops is certainly one to consider. And like I said, if you do think that this game will be lower scoring or similar to that Vegas total, you could do something like parlay it with Gabriel and really do some incorporate some correlation here. Same with maybe Stoops receiving or reception yards or reception props. Now, there is another game on this slate included, and that so far, and that's Kansas State, Oklahoma State. I believe they play Friday night. And another injury here that I think we have a better pulse on than the Sanders one that was involving Texas. RJ Garcia is considered day-to-day and very hopeful to play. I consider him very likely to end. We have projected him in just like we've projected Sanders to be in And so I think this Ben Sinnott line is pretty aggressive from a reception standpoint and potentially from a yardage standpoint. So another one to like here. If, of course, Garcia was not to play, this would be a riskier option here. So I do think Garcia does play, and thus I think Sinnott's a good under bet as well. Looking at some of these other options in this same game, Brennan Presley is kind of that slot receiver for Oklahoma State. Hasn't been super impressive. He was always kind of trying to be that receiver 1 for them, but he's really kind of turned into a receiver 3. So I don't mind this one as close as this is. I don't love it, but I do think if you're needing some Friday juice, you certainly can't go wrong with it. You can add him here and then, of course, guide yourself into that next parlay. Just speaking towards this other one, we see A.D. Mitchell, same thing with Worthy. And then, in the run game, there's Brooks. We do like the under here. I think in part that is Cedric Baxter's return. He was a little bit banged up, missed some time. Weeks ago, he has returned. He's looked pretty solid. It's truly a matter of what kind of usage do they give Brooks with Baxter, maybe even more and more healthier. So some things to think about here heading into the rivalry weekend. And of course, all week long, I'm going to be checking out the news section of unabated.com to make sure that I'm staying on top of it. This is where I can take a look to see specifically with Kansas State, with Texas, what is going on, what other potential injuries may impact the different props available on the different markets. As we see here, Jatavian Sanders, day-to-day with an ankle injury, suffered against Kansas, and Cedric Baxter rushes for a touchdown. Only 6 carries last week. Wonder if that usage creeps up. If that does, Brooks under looks even better. If it doesn't, becomes an even riskier play. So take a look over at unabated.com. And of course, we have the code SMIZZ, SMIZZ, gives you a 5-day free trial, allows you to check it out, especially on a nice weekend like week 6. We'll have some good games, a lot of different props to utilize the Pick'em tool with. Check us out.